Hey, how you doing? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Welcome into another edition of the Happy Sober podcast. Today, we're talking about why alcohol appears to make you so flipping hungry, because it does. That's not an illusion. That's why all of these articles that you see getting written by the tabloid magazines and the papers and things around Christmas and celebration times of the year, giving you advice on which alcoholic drink has the lowest calories in, are completely pointless. In fact, I'll go as far as to say, if you're on a weight loss journey, if you're on a diet attempting to lose weight and you're still drinking alcohol, you are making it virtually impossible for yourself. And it's not really anything to do with the calorie content of the alcohol. Although that does play a part, it's only a very small portion of the part. So let's talk about it. Why does alcohol make you hungry? And look, there's nothing in it for the drug to make you hungry. It's not like the drug is doing this on purpose. This is just an unfortunate coincidence of one of the tricks that alcohol uses to get you to drink more than you want to drink. Alcohol is a very simple, very devious drug, and it's very effective at what it does. There's nothing intelligent about it. There's nothing designer about it. It's not some NASA-designed smart drug. This is basically the rotting discharge that oozes out of vegetable matter when you leave it to go bad. I mean, that's all alcohol is. It is the discharge, what a wonderful word that is, from rotting fruit, basically. So there's nothing clever about it. It's nothing intelligent. It's just this poison that has a very specific effect on the human body. And one of the first things it does when it gets into your bloodstream is it crosses the blood-brain barrier, goes into the brain, and it affects the way certain parts of your brain operate. It slows them down, it inhibits them, it scrambles them, and your brain just suddenly doesn't really know what it's doing anymore. Now, one of the first areas that it attacks, and for very good reason, is the part of your brain that is responsible for making sound and logical decisions. It's also the part of your brain that is in charge of satiety control. So it's the part of your brain that monitors how your body feels. And when you've eaten enough food, it rings the bell and says, okay, enough now, you're full, you're stuffed, don't eat any more food. There has to be that system there. Otherwise, you just eat yourself to death. All right. So your body is always monitoring and assessing what you're doing, and it's always giving you little clues as to what you should do next in response. Unfortunately, alcohol prevents your brain from doing that. So it doesn't matter how well-intentioned you are at the start of the evening when you say, I am only having one drink tonight. It doesn't matter how committed and how sure of yourself you are in that moment, because you're making that promise with a brain capacity, an intellectual capacity that you will not have very soon. That alcohol is going to get into your brain and it's going to fiddle about with that decision-making process, and that commitment to have one drink is going to rapidly fail. And that's why I always say you only get one choice. You get the choice over the first drink. Every other drink you drink after the first drink is not your decision. It will be the decision of the evil clown that lives in your head. Now, the unfortunate byproduct of this interference with your brain is it also interferes with the part of your brain that tells you whether you're hungry or not. So, I mean, you're not thirsty. There's no logical reason for you to have a second pint of fluid or even a 10th pint of fluid. I mean, how thirsty would you have to be? You need 10 pints of fluid to quench your thirst. So there's no logic in this. So this part of your brain that says whether you're hungry or not gets interfered with. And this is why you can have like a 3-course meal with alcohol, wine all the way through the meal, dessert wine at the end. And then a couple of hours later, you're calling out for a McDonald's. You're starving. It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be happening, but it is, because your brain is not operating as it should. So that's why alcohol makes you hungry. But there's more going on here. This is not just about calorie contents of drinks and things like that. You cannot help your waistline by switching from normal white wine to vodka. The magazines may tell you that there's less calories in vodka per measure than there is in white wine. And that may be true, but it doesn't matter, because we're not dealing with a piece of cake here or some other calorie-dense piece of nutrition. We're dealing with something that has zero nutritional value. It is not consumed and interpreted by your body as you taking on board nutrition. When you drink alcohol, your body correctly identifies it as poison. It doesn't say, oh, he's just had some really calorie-dense liquid. It says, uh-oh, this guy's drank poison. Start the process. And so your body goes into a process of processing this toxin out of your system as quickly as possible. So the first thing it does is it takes the alcohol, the ethanol, the poison that's in your bloodstream, and it runs an emergency process where it takes that and it converts it from a deadly poison into still a poison, but a slower acting poison. So it takes it from ethanol and it changes it into acetaldehyde. All right. Now, you might think, well, great, all the poison's gone. My body saved my life. Yay, give me another drink. And it is true that your body has saved your life in that moment. And you now don't have the ethanol, but you do have acetaldehyde. But unfortunately, acetaldehyde is a carcinogenic, creates cancer in the body. So this is not a good place to be. Your body has said, okay, well, look, we've got to save his or her life now in the short term, and we'll worry about the consequences later. That's what's happened. So this is not fuel in your body. It's not food. It's not nutrition. It's poison, and your body is processing it as such. So it's not having the same effect as food does. Your body is going to want to burn the calories from alcohol first. It wants it out of your system. It's a liquid fuel at this point, so it wants it out of your system. So every bit of alcohol you drink will be burned before everything else. So that 3-course meal you had that night, that's going to stay there in your stomach. It's going to be converted into fat and stored on your hips, on your butt, everywhere you don't want it to be. The fat that you already have stored on your hips and your butt and everywhere you don't want it to be, that's just staying there because your body has no need for it. It has plenty of liquid fuel in your system. So it's all compounding. You've got a highly calorie-dense liquid, the alcohol. You've got the fact that it interferes with your brain's processing power. And then you've got the way it interferes with the metabolism of your body. It's a triple whammy. So if you cut down from white wine to vodka, it's going to make no difference. And I'll go back to what I said at the start of the episode. If you're on a diet, if you're trying to lose weight and you're still drinking, you're making it as close to impossible as you can. So I hope that helps. If you have questions, I'm always ready and eager to hear them. Drop me an email via the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. And if you're worried about your drinking, go over there right now, stopdrinkingexpert.com, sign up for today's free quit drinking webinar, and I'll give you a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a gift just for turning up. Thanks a lot. See you soon.